SpeedWorld was a racing simulation game developed by Park Place Productions and released for the Sega Genesis in 1994. It was based on the popular ESPN TV show SpeedWorld, hosted by the legendary sports commentator Bob Jenkins, who also lends his voice to the game, narrating events and providing feedback on the race. The game is focused on NASCAR-style racing, where players take on the role of professional stock car drivers. ESPN SpeedWorld tries to capture the spirit of racing by emphasizing realistic car behavior and technical adjustments. Players can customize their cars with different setups and must carefully manage speed, handling, and endurance over long races. There are a few gameplay modes, including a season mode for those wanting a long-term challenge and a single race mode for a quick play. Creating ESPN SpeedWorld for the Sega Genesis posed several unique challenges. Developers wanted to deliver an authentic NASCAR-style experience, which involved making realistic cars and tracks, along with the immersive feel of televised racing. Achieving this level of realism required optimizing both graphics and gameplay for the Genesis's limited processing power and memory. To simulate a realistic race day, they implemented dynamic car handling, where cars would respond to turns, speed, and track conditions. Park Place Productions focused on capturing the look and feel of NASCAR races while working within the Genesis's capabilities. They designed the tracks with as much variety as the hardware could handle, but creating varied, realistic circuits was limited by memory and processing constraints. Track repetition was a point of criticism post-release, as many courses lacked distinctive features due to these restrictions. ESPN SpeedWorld for the Sega Genesis saw modest sales, with performance likely falling below the success of Sega's more popular sports titles at the time, such as Madden NFL and NHL franchises. By 1994, the Genesis was nearing the end of its peak life cycle, and newer racing games on platforms like the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, SNES, and the emerging Sony PlayStation offered players more advanced graphics and gameplay experiences. The game's narrow appeal also affected its commercial performance. Unlike other Genesis racing games that were more arcade-style, ESPN SpeedWorld was a simulation-focused experience that primarily attracted NASCAR fans and racing enthusiasts rather than the broader Genesis audience. The ESPN branding helped it stand out in a crowded market, but it still faced competition from other racing titles that were simpler and more arcade-like in gameplay. While exact sales figures are difficult to verify, it's safe to say that ESPN SpeedWorld didn't make a major impact on Sega Genesis sales charts and is often remembered as a niche title. However, its unique integration of ESPN branding and a famous commentator helped establish a template for sports games to partner with media brands for enhanced realism. Though ESPN SpeedWorld didn't reach the iconic status of other Sega Genesis titles, its unique ESPN branding, realistic approach to NASCAR racing, and early commentary integration set it apart for fans of the genre. It's a nostalgic experience that pushed the Genesis hardware, making it a memorable part of 16-bit racing history. If you enjoyed this deep dive into ESPN SpeedWorld, be sure to check out more retro game retrospectives here on No Drama Llama Gaming. Let's keep exploring the hidden gems and classic titles that shape gaming as we know it.